Inspire, connect,
resource, growing healthy churches
is in relationship for God's mission.
Welcome to the latest of these video reflections from the Southern Counties Baptist Association regional team. My name is Simon Gray. I'm one of the new regional ministers, and it's a privilege to be able to share this with you today. And as I share this, please be assured of our ongoing love and our ongoing prayers for you as individuals, as churches, and as a community. Whilst I've been working in my new role for now just over 2 months, I've been living in another region. I continue to live at the time of recording in the village of Bratton in Wiltshire on the edge of Salisbury Plain, the place where I've ministered for the last 10 years, and I'm here recording this in the Baptist chapel there in the village. And as I do that, I'm struck by that sense of living in between times, of being in one place, but also being in another. And as I've reflected on that over these past weeks, I've been thinking back to the time when I was called into ministry many years ago. And I'd had that ongoing sense, that ongoing stirring, that had begun to be recognised by other people. But I'm thinking particularly of an occasion when that was sort of publicly called out for the first time. And the person that did that then prayed for me. And as they prayed for me, they had that sense that yes, I was being called, but that there would be a delay. And there very much was a delay. After that sense of call, was recognised by my local church, there was a delay, which meant I became very unwell. I lost my job, we lost our home, but then saw God miraculously intervene. And through that time, that individual that prayed for me brought my attention to and said that Psalm 121 would be something that in that period of waiting would be significant, and it very much was. And I've reflected on that again in these last weeks and months. And I think it's particularly helpful as we think about how we live in between times. Yes, for me at the moment, living in one place, working and ministering in another. But for all of us as we live in between times in one way or another, whether that's facing difficulties and struggles as individuals, as churches, in our families, of being in one place, but that sense of wanting to be in another. And of course we have that grand hope of heaven, where we're living in one place, but ultimately desire to be in another. And I think Psalm 121 can help us as we reflect on what it looks like to live and to minister in the meantime. I'm sure you'll know this is one of the Psalms of Ascent that was used by the pilgrims on their journey to Jerusalem. Scholars tell us that this would have been used in the mid part of that journey, possibly as Jerusalem came into sight. I've got that sense, that idea, it's not in the text, that as the children asked, are we nearly there for the 150th time? Then that might have occasioned the singing, the declaration of this psalm together. And there's that sense that this psalm begins with one person leading the way, of saying, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. One person leads this community together in focusing their attention on the Lord. And it shows us, it reminds us again of that sense of being on a journey as God's people. Yes, being part of our communities within our churches, but also being part of a wider community as an association as we journey together into all that God has for us. And so we have that call at the beginning of this psalm to focus our attention on God. But then it's particularly the response that scholars tell us the pilgrims would have given back to the leader that I want to think about. And in particular, one idea that comes through that That idea of the way in which God keeps us. Verse 3 says, he will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth forevermore. There's that sense that as those pilgrims together journey towards Jerusalem, that the Lord keeps them as individuals, but also as a community. The Lord will keep us as we journey together as his people. But then there's that sense of God keeping us by surrounding us day and night. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Day and night, God promises to surround us with his presence. And the final dimension that we see here is that we're kept now and forever. There's that future assurance. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. So a simple reflection that as you and as I live in the meantime of being in one place but wanting to be in another, know that you are kept by God, that the Lord surrounds you day and night, that the Lord keeps you today and will continue to keep you forevermore. My prayer is that you will know this today, that you will know this in the days and the weeks and the months to come, as we live in between times and as we minister in the meantime. Amen.
Inspire, connect
Resource. Growing healthy churches.
is in relationship for God's mission.